Your life kicks off in a little nothing village near Bamberg, in the Holy Roman Empire, somewhere around 1595. Nobody's exactly writing down birth certificates for peasants at this point, so around is doing a lot of work there. Your mother is what everyone in the village calls a weise Frau, or a wise woman. Forget whatever image just popped into your head, the cackling old lady with the black cat and the broomstick, because that's just Hollywood. Your mother is more or less the only doctor anybody around here can afford. She delivers the babies, sets the bones, brews up remedies from whatever's growing in the ditches and hedgerows. People are a little scared of her. They also absolutely cannot function without her. That's the deal you grow up inside, and it never really goes away. You spend your whole childhood hanging around her elbow watching her hands work. She teaches you which plants heal and which ones kill, and here's the annoying part. A lot of the time, it's the exact same plant. A pinch of henbane would take the edge off pain. A bit too much, and you've stopped someone's heart. Belladonna brings a fever down nicely, right up until you eyeball the dose wrong and it takes the patient with it. Nobody's calling this pharmacology yet. It'll be centuries before anyone even has that word, but that's what it is. By the time you're 12, you've already helped deliver your first baby. Nobody in this village has heard of a germ in their life, but your mother still makes you boil the instruments first because it just seems to go better when you do. She also starts teaching you the charms. Little spoken formulas, half-old pagan phrasing, half-proper Christian prayer, all mashed together and muttered quietly while you're mixing up a remedy. This wasn't sloppy religion on anyone's part. Cunning folk all over Germany, England, Scandinavia, wherever, did this completely on purpose. If your work looked Christian instead of demonic, that was actual legal protection. The law didn't come after people for helping the neighbors. It came after people for supposedly cutting a deal with the devil. At 16, you step into your mother's spot. You're a cunning woman now, on your own 2 feet, and the village pays you in food, favors, the odd bit of coin, for charms, remedies, and a little divination on the side. Somebody's goat wanders off. You stare into a bowl of water looking mysterious for a minute, and surprise, you usually find it. Mostly because you know the local gossip better than anyone in this parish, not because you're peering into another realm. People assume it's magic. You've never once bothered correcting them. Well, why would you? Your first actual test doesn't come from a spell. It comes from your landlord, who decides he's going to throw your family off the land over unpaid rent. Conveniently forgetting the years of free medicine your mother handed his household for nothing. You've got zero legal standing to fight this. Tenants basically never do. So you reach for the one tool you actually have. You slip Foxglove into a tonic that's supposedly for his stomach, small enough doses that nothing looks wrong, steady enough that his body can't keep up. Within the month he's dead. Looks like he just wasted away from illness the way people do. Nobody suspects poison, because everybody already believes in maleficium, or in other words, harmful magic, as a totally normal explanation for somebody dropping dead. Turns out that's the best possible cover a poisoner could ask for. That's the hinge point right there. You clock something useful. People are already scared you might have real power over them. So why not lean into it? A neighbor shorts you on a payment, and a week later his cow's gone lame because you fed it something spoiled, nothing supernatural about it whatsoever, but he's got no way of knowing that. You start dropping little hints, nothing too obvious, that crossing you tends to cost people. This isn't magic, rather an extortion, running entirely on fear you don't even believe in yourself. Then, around 1626, things get genuinely dangerous. The Prince Bishopric of Bamberg kicks off one of the biggest witch persecutions Europe will ever produce. Bad harvests, the economy in the toilet, a war that just will not end. Everyone's desperate for someone to blame, and the witch next door is a much easier answer than anything else. The bishop gets a special building put up just for this, the Drudenhaus, purpose-built for interrogating suspected witches. And unlike England, where torture is straight up not allowed in these cases, German law says go for it, under a statute called the Constitutio Criminalis Carolina, which has been on the books since 1530. That one legal difference is basically the whole reason German trials get so much bloodier than English ones. Over in England, it's a jury trial, no torture, hanging if you lose. Here in Bamberg, confessions get pulled out of people by force, and the condemned usually get strangled first and burned after. Mercifully dead before the flames most of the time, though mercy is doing some heavy lifting in that sentence. Let's actually go inside the Drudenhaus for a second, because it's not just some random old dungeon. It's a specific, purpose-built place. It has stone walls, no windows, and a room set up specifically for extracting confessions, because apparently that needed its own dedicated furniture. There's the thumb screws, which were called Daumenschrauben, a little metal vise that crushes the thumb joint bit by bit, turned by a screw. There's the leg screws, same idea but bigger, and for the shin. There's the strappado, where they tie your wrists behind your back, hoist you up by a rope thrown over a beam, and just let gravity do the rest to your shoulders, dislocating it. Some rooms have a rack for stretching joints past where they're supposed to go. And before any of that even starts, there's the witch pricker, someone whose entire job is jabbing you with a needle looking for a spot on your body that doesn't bleed or doesn't hurt, which they'll call the devil's mark. Proof positive you've made a pact. Never mind that a numbskull or a callus will do the trick just as well as actual demonic ownership. Sleep deprivation gets used too, for days at a stretch, because it turns out a person will confess to almost anything if you just don't let them sleep long enough. None of this is designed to find the truth. It's designed to produce any confession, and it's extremely good at that job. Arrests start sweeping through the villages around you. People you've known your whole life get dragged off to the Drudenhaus. Under all that, they confess to things that flat out never happened, like flying off to a witch's sabbath, signing away their soul, keeping some demon in the shape of a cat or a toad as a familiar. None of it is real. But when someone's crushing your thumb, you have no choice but to play along, and the interrogators always want names to go with it. So the condemned name other people, guilty or not, purely to make the pain stop for 5 minutes. This is genuinely how these panics spread. Not from real witchcraft, just a machine built deliberately to manufacture guilt out of agony. You start feeling the net tighten around your own house too. A client's baby dies of an ordinary fever a few weeks after you'd treated her. A harvest fails on land you'd personally sabotaged out of spite the year before, which, in hindsight, might not have been your smartest move. Suspicion starts drifting your way, and you're left with the exact choice every cunning woman in your position eventually runs into. Sit tight and hope it blows past you, or shove the fear onto somebody else. You go with the second one, so you mention to a magistrate's assistant, real casual, that the rival healer over in the next village has been seen out at odd hours, that a cow died strange near her cottage, and that's genuinely all it takes. She's arrested, tortured, confesses to a Sabbath she was never within 50 miles of, and gets executed. You survive. Over the 5 years this panic runs, you do this more than once. Sometimes with a deliberate word in the right ear, sometimes just by keeping your mouth shut. There's one more grim little detail worth knowing, because it explains a lot about why this got so big. A convicted witch's property usually gets seized by the exact same authorities prosecuting her. Whole family estates, just absorbed. That financial angle is a huge part of why Bamberg's persecution ballooned way past ordinary religious panic. Accusing your wealthier neighbor could be a profitable move, and a lot of evil people figured that out. By 1630, you've outlasted almost the whole panic. You've gotten quietly comfortable. You've got an abandoned herb garden here, a little inheritance there, all absorbed from women you helped walk into the fire. But a panic like this almost never wraps up clean. One woman you'd named years back apparently gave your name up too, right before she died. Turns out chain confessions don't always resolve neatly in the direction you'd prefer. Around the same time, somebody finally investigates a client's death without just assuming witchcraft, and finds traces of foxglove sitting in an old tonic bottle you were absolutely sure you'd gotten rid of. So, you're hauled into the Drudenhaus yourself in 1631. Under the thumbscrews or the strappado or simple sleep deprivation, take your pick, they all worked eventually. You confess. Not to the poisoning, not to the sabotage, not to the false accusations that kept you alive all those years, but you confess to a Sabbath you never went to, a pact you never signed, a familiar you never owned. Those are the charges that actually go on your paperwork. You get strangled, then your body gets burned, one of dozens executed in these last grinding years before the whole Bamberg panic finally sputters out in the early 1630s. So here's the thing. Everyone wants their witches simple. Either she was innocent or she was working with the demon. Your life doesn't fit either box. You practiced real medicine and real poison out of the exact same jar of knowledge. You survived a genuine campaign of terror by feeding it innocent people's names over and over. And when the fire finally got you, it wasn't even for anything you actually did. You got executed for a Sabbath that never happened, while the real damage you caused, actual dead people, actual poisoned tonics, never made it onto a single piece of paper. History remembers the panic just fine. It's never going to remember you specifically, and honestly, given everything, maybe that's fair.